impromptu, yay! Not quite improv, because I have material here. So let's see who turns up. It's story time. And apparently, there's a good signal today, so that's good. Hello, everybody. I was doing a little background reading on Beowulf. It is considered the longest surviving Old English poem. Well, the only... How am I going to explain it? Yes, it is it's considered one of the most important pieces in Old English. You're not going to find much on Old English. It exists out there, but it's a dead language, you know. It's interesting. I mean, if you ever get to do research on what our language looked like in its infancy, it's not going to look anything like what you're used to speaking now. It's not even going to sound like it either. It sounds a lot like a bunch of groans and grunts. And Middle English resembles much more what we speak now, and that's light years too. So, I mean, if you take a look, some of this looks very similar to some of the Scandinavian tongues. I'm sure it doesn't sound like it. I know! I thought about you. It's this, like, what is it? Like a 20s, 30s kind of art piece that I got somewhere. Well, inspired. But it's this gentleman waltzing with his lady. I thought, oh, fancy, fancy. So there, that goes. I figured we're getting everybody at a really interesting hour. If you're in the UK, what is that, about 10:30 at night, I believe. So, as per usual, any questions or comments, feel free. Before, during, or after the reading. I'm a pretty open book. I'm a chill gal. You know, if I'm wrong about something, correct me. And it's cool. I'm fine with it. So, without further delay, we're going to dive into Beowulf. Just a bit more. I mean, this is going to take a while. We're still going to be getting on with the Scarlet Letter, and that'll be coming this week too. And you will have time to figure that out. Also, that as well, watch at your leisure. If you're busy at night and you're sitting at home and the kids are asleep or whatever, and you're like, I want to do something mindless. I don't necessarily want to look at her face, but I want to listen to what's going on. I know, right? Go figure, open book. So, without further delay, we're going to get on to Beowulf. Time went by, the boat was on water, and close under the cliffs. Men climbed eagerly up the gangplank. Sand churned in surf. Warriors loaded a cargo of weapons, shining war gear, in the vessel's hold, then heaved out, away with a will in their wood-wreathed ship. Over the waves, with the wind behind her and foam at her neck, she flew like a bird until her curved prow ahead covered the distance. And on the following day, at the due hour, those seafarers sighted land. Sunlit cliffs, sheer crags, and looming headlands, the landfall they sought. It was the end of their voyage, and the Geats vaulted over the side, out onto the sand, and moored their ship. There was a clash of mail and a thresh of gear, and they thanked God for that easy crossing on a calm sea. When the watchman on the wall, the shielding's lookout, whose job it was to guard the sea cliffs, saw shields glittering on the gangplank and battle equipment being unloaded, he had to find out who and what the arrivals were. So he rode to the shore, this horseman of Hrothgar's, and challenged them in formal terms, flourishing his spear. kind of men are you arrive, rigged out for combat in coats of mail, sailing here over the sea lanes in your steep-hulled boat? I have been stationed as lookout on this coast for a long time, and my job is to watch the waves for raiders. Any danger to the Danish shore. Never before has a force under arms disembarked so openly, not bothering to ask if the sentries allowed them safe passage or the clan had consented. Nor have I seen a mightier man-at-arms on this earth than the one standing here. Unless I am mistaken, he is truly noble. This is no mere hanger-on in a hero's armor. So now, before you fare inland as interlopers, I have to be informed about who you are and where you hail from. Outsiders from across the water. I say it again, the sooner you tell where you come from and why, the better. The leader of the troop unlocked his word hoard. The distinguished one delivered this answer. We belong by birth to the Geat people and owe allegiance to Lord Hygelac. In his day, my father was a famous man, a noble warrior lord named Ecthio. He outlasted many a long winter and went on his way. And all over the world, men wise in council continue to remember him. We come in good faith to find your lord, the nation's shield, the son of Halfdane. Give us the right advice and direction. We have arrived here on a great errand to the Lord of the Danes, and I believe, therefore, there should be nothing hidden or withheld between us. So tell us if what we had heard is true, about this threat, whatever it is, this danger abroad in the dark nights, this corpse-maker mongering death, and the shielding's country. I come to proffer my wholehearted help and counsel. I can show the wise Hrothgar a way to defeat his enemy and find respite. If any respite is to reach him, ever, I can calm the turmoil and terror in his mind. Otherwise, he must endure woes and live with grief for as long as his hall stands at the horizon, on its high ground. Undaunted, sitting astride his horse, the coastguard answered, Anyone with gumption and a sharp mind will take the measure of two things, what's said and what's done. And I believe what you have told me, that you are a troop loyal to our king. So come ahead with your arms and your gear, and I will guide you. What's more, I'll order my own comrades on their word of honor to watch your boat down there on the strand. Keep her safe, and her fresh tar until the time comes for her curved prow to preen on the waves, and bear this hero back to Geatland. May one so valiant and venturesome come unharmed through the clash of battle. So they went on their way. The ship rode the water, broad-beamed, bound by its hawser, and anchored fast. Four shapes flashed above their chief guards, the brightly forged work of goldsmiths, watching over those stern-faced men. And they marched in step, hurrying on till the timbered hall rose before them, radiant with gold. Nobody on earth knew of another building like it. Majesty lodged there. Its light shone over many lands, so their gallant escort guided them to that dazzling stronghold and indicated the shortest way to it. Then the noble warrior wheeled on his horse and spoke these words, It is time for me to go. May the Almighty Father keep you, and in his kindness watch over your exploits. I'm away to the sea, back on alert against enemy raiders. It was a paved track, a path that kept them in marching order. The mail shirts glinted, hard and hand-linked. The high-gloss iron of their armor rang. So they duly arrived in their grim war-wraith and gear at the hall, and weary from sea, stacked wide shields of the toughest hardwood against the wall. Then collapsed on the benches, battle dress and weapons clashed, and they collected their spears in a seafarer's stook, a stand of greyish tapering ash. And the troops themselves were as good as their weapons. Then a proud warrior questioned the men concerning their origins. Where do you come from, carrying these decorated shields and shirts of mail? These cheek-hinged helmets and javelins. I am Hrothgar's herald and officer, and I have never seen so impressive or large an assembly of strangers. Stoutness of heart, bravery not banishment, must have brought you to Hrothgar. The man whose name was known for courage, the Geat leader, resolute in his helmet, answered in return. We are retainers from Hygelac's band. Beowulf is my name, and if your lord and master, the most renowned son of Halfdane, will hear me out and graciously allow me to greet him in person, I am ready and willing to report my errand. And Wulfgar replied, a Wendel chief, renowned as a warrior, well known for his wisdom and the temper of his mind. I will take this message, in accordance with your wish, to our noble king, our dear lord, friend of the Danes, the giver of rings. And I will go and ask him about your coming here, then hurry back with whatever reply it pleases him to give. With that he turned to where Hrothgar sat, an old man among retainers, the valiant follower. He stood foursquare in front of his king, and he knew the courtesies. Wulfgar addressed his dear lord. People from Geatland have put ashore. They have sailed far over the wide sea, and they call the chief in charge of their band by the name of Beowulf. And they beg, my lord, an audience with you, exchange words and formal greeting. Most gracious Hrothgar, do not refuse them, but grant them a reply. From their arms and appointment they appear well born and worthy of respect, especially the one who has led them this far, and he is formidable indeed. And Hrothgar, protector of shieldlings, replied, I used to know him when he was a young boy. His father before him was called Ecgtheow, and Hrethel the Geat gave Ecgtheow his daughter in marriage, and this man is their son, here to follow up an old friendship. A crew of seamen who sailed for me once with a gift cargo across to Geatland returned with marvelous tales about him. A thane, they declared, with the strength of 30 in the grip of each hand. And now holy God has, in his goodness, guided him here to the West Danes, to defend us from Grendel. This is my hope, and for his heroism I will recompense him with a rich treasure. Go immediately, bid him and the Geats he has in attendance to assemble and enter. Say, moreover, when you speak to them, they are welcome to Denmark. And at the door of the hall, Wulfgar duly delivered the message. My lord, the conquering king of the Danes, bids me announce that he knows your ancestry, also that he welcomes you here to Heorot and salutes your arrival from across the sea. And what will happen on our next adventure? You might not know yet, but if you do, keep it a secret. I'll see you.